innovators. They've made a career out of breaking down musical barriers and reign supreme as kings of the mashup. They faced mountains of rejection and reaped the rewards of fame. They have a dark sound with a positive message. They're prolific, passionate, and powerful. So the question is, how did this eclectic group of young men come together to form the most important band in contemporary music? Quite simply, Linkin Park was born to be.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. I've become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you.
My mother always wanted me to be a lawyer.
A doctor.
An architect like my father.
My dad insisted on medical school.
I was always expected to be a part of the family business.
A bank manager.
But
I was born to be.
Linkin Park's fateful journey to chart-topping dominance began in the hallways of a high school in Southern California. And like every school, Agora High had its cliques: metalheads, hip-hop kids, rockers. Observing the vast chasm between these groups, students Mike Shinoda and Brad Delson fantasized about forming a band that would incorporate all of their favorite musical genres, resulting in a utopian fusion of style and sound.
We're a hybrid of musical styles, but we're also a hybrid of louder and quieter elements also.
Shinoda, a classically trained musician whose first love was hip-hop, and Delson, a budding rock guitarist, put their money where their mouth was and set out to make their dream a reality. They were all of 18 years old. The duo soon became a trio with a shiny new recruit, drummer and fellow high schooler Rob Borden.
I had dreams about drums. I had dreams about drum fills that I practiced the day before and I couldn't get right. It was just constant drum craziness.
The band called themselves Zero. Upon graduation, Zero's founding members headed off to college with their musical dreams tucked firmly in their back pockets. While attending the California Art College of Design, Mike Shinoda hooked up with a like-minded colleague named Joseph Hahn. Hahn, a DJ and illustrator, was intrigued by Shinoda's plot for an all-encompassing musical takeover. Hahn, like Shinoda, leaned in the direction of hip-hop, but the prospect of working with musicians from rock and metal backgrounds seriously piqued his interest. He quickly accepted an offer to join the band. Meanwhile, at another California campus, Brad Delson was making connections with bass player Dave Farrell. With the rockers represented in one corner and the MCs in another, the time had come to find a vocalist to bring the melody to this musical mashup. The newly minted band enlisted vocalist Mark Wakefield, an old pal from Agora High School. In 1997, Zero recorded and released the self-titled demo, which they circulated around LA. The ambitious offering generated a sizable buzz, and the momentum earned the band a coveted spot opening for superstars System of a Down. The showcase proved to be very profitable for the rock stars in the making. Executives from Zomba Music attended the show and were so impressed with Zero's raw talent, they were offered a development deal on the spot. Encouraged by the lightning speed success, the guys amped up their commitment to the band. They began to play the LA circuit with frequency, with hopes of landing a record deal.
The Strip has always been, I mean, that's where we grew up. You know, I played there a lot, and Brad and Rob, our guitarist and drummer, had played in bands before even I did, so they had been playing there too. And it's always been somewhere that the young bands, go to try out their stuff.
But fate had something else planned for Zero. Over the next 3 years, the band was rejected by every important record label in the business. After an impressive beginning, the group was discouraged by their string of bad luck. Shinoda and Delson agonized over the future of the band. Eventually, they came to the conclusion that in order to survive, they needed a frontman who could better represent their eclectic sound. In 1999, Mark Wakefield was dropped from Zero. The remaining members contacted their old recruits at Zomba Music in the hopes of finding a stellar new vocalist. Jeff Blue, an early supporter of the band and VP of A&R at Zomba, recalled a young up-and-coming singer named Chester Bennington. Fate was working her magic when Bennington, based in Phoenix, Arizona, received a phone call from Zomba in the midst of his 23rd birthday celebrations.
Worship the crown, kiss my hand.
The next day, a package arrived on his doorstep containing 2 demos from Zero, a track with Wakefield singing and an instrumental version of the same song. Chester couldn't believe his good fortune. He was drawn to the music as if by magnetic force. When he sat down to write parts for the song, the melody and lyrics came effortlessly. After 3 days of intense reworking, Chester sent the finished product back to California. When the band heard Bennington's tape, they were blown away.
Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored.
In an instant, they knew they'd found the missing piece of the puzzle.
Chester has this incredible weird thing when he sings really aggressive. He has like 2 or 3 different voices inside his voice. You can hear 2 or 3 different notes, and it's the strangest thing in the world.
But before they could go from zeros to heroes, the band had to hatch a plan of attack. When we return, the guys get focused, find freedom, and cash in on some hard-earned success. But not before spending a little extra time at the School of Hard Knocks.
People made jokes about like us being like put together by a boy band producer thing or something.
Watch as these musical renegades make a fresh start and go for broke. Born to Be continues.